What's going on, guys? It is TFM here, and today I am back with another video. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be going through our playoff predictions and like which teams are in and which teams are out. Now technically none of the teams are actually eliminated yet, but like some of the teams, I just look at them, I'm like, okay, it's over, it doesn't matter. So anyways, let's just get into this video. But before we do, guys, I just want to say this is not my idea. Shout out to Colin Cowherd, because he is the one that made this video first, and I just took the video idea off of him basically, but I just added a couple extra stuff. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel if you guys happen to be new around here. But yeah, anyways, here we go. So if you guys look here, this is the NFL website. So right now, just by looking off of this, we can see the 4 division winners: the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Packers, and the Buccaneers. We have 3 wildcard teams this year, which is kind of interesting because those could be up for grabs. This NFC West, this is the toughest division in football. Right under that, we have the weakest division in football. Whoever wins this division, they could probably win with just like 6 or 7 wins, and they're definitely not making it any further than the first round. I'll tell you that much right away. But yeah, just off looking at this, NFC West, none of these teams are really out yet. All of them are in the hunt. Right now, the Cardinals and the Rams, they both have a playoff spot, I think. The NFC East, it's just completely up for grabs. Now, normally the Giants, I would just say they're completely eliminated, but because of how bad this division is, they're not out yet. Okay, so the NFC North here. The Minnesota Vikings, what I saw from them against the Packers, that was very encouraging. I don't know. I don't think they're out yet, but they're definitely on the fringe. Finally, in this division, NFC South, I would rule out the Atlanta Falcons right now because they're just not that good of a team. NFC is a really tough spot to be in. All these teams are realistically in except for maybe the Falcons. And if we were stretching it out here, we'll say the Carolina Panthers as well, but they are getting Christian McCaffrey back, and quite frankly, their offense is pretty good actually. I don't think he gets enough credit really, so it'll be a miracle if they make it, but it's still possible. So guys, here we go. For the AFC, this one is going to be a little bit easier to determine which teams I do think are out, because I feel like there's quite a bit of teams that are currently out in my opinion. So for the AFC East, I don't think the Patriots are out yet. Don't count Bill Belichick out ever, but they're definitely like on the fringe. And the Jets are just out. No one's going to dispute that. They're going to look to draft Trevor Lawrence in the spring. Okay, so for the AFC South, we have the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts as the front runners, and the Texans and the Jaguars, I think they're just both out. They're both 1-6. They're probably not going to make it back. The AFC North, all these teams are pretty good, and I do think they all have a chance of making the playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals are probably out. Finally, the AFC West. I don't think any of these teams can be ruled out just yet. Now that we know which teams are kind of out and stuff like that, let's just look at the current playoff picture. So guys, this is the current NFC playoff picture if it were to end today. As you guys can see down here, the Seahawks, they received a bye in the wild card round. This is because they're the #1 seed. Okay, so here are the 3 playoff matchups, and obviously it's a little bit different this year because they did add an extra playoff team. So here we go. Rams at the Buccaneers. I've got the Buccaneers. Rams, they might be a decent team, but they're definitely not good enough to compete with the Buccaneers. Cardinals at Packers. Again, taking the home field advantage here. The Packers, they're a pretty good team, so I've got the Packers here. Finally, this last one here, Saints at the Eagles. The NFC East, they're not going to get a playoff win, so I've got the Saints here. Now, if we move on, the next matchup, we would have the Seahawks right here, and we would have the Saints. I've got the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're just on top of the world. For the other matchup, we would have the Buccaneers and Packers. I would take the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they beat them by a lot last time, so I've got the Buccaneers, which would leave the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. I feel like this would be a really fun matchup to watch. It's going to be a shootout, but Russell Wilson, he's just the best football player right now. I have to take the Seahawks. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at the current AFC playoff picture now. If the season were to end today, these were the teams that are going to be in. And the Steelers, they're going to receive a bye in the wild card round. Okay, so if we look here, I think the Chiefs, they're going to beat the Browns in this first matchup. Colts at the Bills. Now this one, it's going to be a fun matchup to watch. I'm taking the Bills here. And finally, Ravens at the Titans. Now the Ravens, they lost to the Titans last year in the playoffs, so I'm still taking the Titans. Lamar Jackson hasn't really shown me anything in the playoffs, so I've just got to take the Titans here. The Steelers are going to face the Titans. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to take an upset here. I'm going to take the Titans to beat the Steelers. The Chiefs at the Bills. The Chiefs are obviously going to win this one. The AFC Conference Championship, we have a rematch of last year. The Chiefs at the Titans. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win. And that leads us to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are representing the AFC, and the Seahawks are representing the NFC. The Super Bowl winner, unless you're the Patriots, it's very difficult to repeat a Super Bowl win. So I'm going to take the Seahawks. Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson, they're the 2 best quarterbacks in football. So seeing them go up against each other, it's going to be a wild ride. And I think that's going to be a very fun Super Bowl 55 we're looking at ahead. So guys, that is going to do it. I know, I'm sorry, it's a longer video today, and it's kind of different from what I normally make, but I figured we're at the halfway point of the season. We might as well just start ruling out some teams and looking ahead towards the playoffs. If you guys haven't already, drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you guys happen to be new around here. But other than that, it's been TFM here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.